I think Timo and Delhi are going to be happy about that. Can't ask for a much better first point of the match than that. Wow, the flip and then the recovery and a counter exchange right away. That guy in his cell phone needs to know about ITTF. I mean, it's exciting to show your friends that you're here live in the crowd, but get a point or two and then get back and watch the game. You're here. That's the backhand. Sweet spot for Dima. It comes in pretty fast. Strong opening backhand from Wang Chun-Ting, but Dima just ready to unload on that ball. Soft flip. With a side spin on it as well. Nice change of pace there from Dima. This shows a good understanding of what was on the ball and that it's not going to be easy to attack, and also understanding the opponent's movement. So not a point dropped yet for Dimitrij OVTCHAROV, the king of Europe. And the Men's World Cup, for that matter. Again, one of 3 Germans to get his name on that cup alongside Jörg Groskopf and Timo Boll. First towel break of the game, and not a point break for Wang Chun-Ting yet. There's that special backhand receive. And finally, a shot missed by Dimitrij OVTCHAROV. The back of the table takes a deep breath. So this long serve is bold, but it's also very well disguised. Toss right near the body, just as normal. Everything looks the same, and then last moment, plot twist, long serve. The angle here as well. Over the table, Dima's been so strong today. This, for me, is one of the key ingredients to his victory over Yanan. If he's playing like this, I don't think there's anybody in the world he can't beat right now. Nice parallel forehand first and the backhand to finish. So 9 game points for Dimitrij OVTCHAROV. Backhand to backhand on fire. What a showing in game 1. Dimitrij OVTCHAROV, 11-1. He's got 2 of that number in each placeholder here in his score. Look at both of my ones, says Dimitrij OVTCHAROV. 11-1. Get ready for game 2. I don't know if that's for you in the audience or for Wang Chun-Ting, but we'll see. Game 2 coming up right after this. Back for game number 2, and I'm scratching my head thinking, what can Wang Chun-Ting do? What can he do to stop Dimitrij OVTCHAROV to make this a tighter match? And the way Dima's playing, it's tough to find an answer to that. Long serve down the forehand line, invite Dima to play the forehand flip and counter from the forehand side. That's one way to do it. More power and speed than we've seen, but it all starts at the receive. Inside-out forehand and a follow-up even faster from Wang Chun-Ting. This is interesting. Watching game 1, Wang Chun-Ting felt slow and powerless because Dimitrij OVTCHAROV just took control, never really let Wang Chun-Ting get his head above water to get into the game. And that second point was more similar to game one, but Wang Chun-Ting wins it. So we see a bit more speed on that opening attack from Wang Chun-Ting. He's going to take some risks. He's going to look for the opportunity to put serious pressure on. The serve sets that up, though. From that camera angle, you can really see at this level of play, if Wang Chun-Ting doesn't destroy that ball, that would have been considered a blunder. Forehand flip from Wang Chun-Ting. Now the flip on the forehand side for pen holders is a bit more of a natural shot. It's one of the many reasons pen holders can be so strong in doubles. But the wrist is much more loose and free. Nice surprise, short side of the table from Wang Chun-Ting. This isn't quite deja vu. It's like inverse deja vu. Vu deja. 5-0 for Dima in game one. Now the other way around. Oh, what a start to a point. It looked like the ball might not even come off the table. Love to see that one again. I mean, Roccadino's tail is cool and all, but that point was super cool. One more time. Patiently from below the table, blocked behind him, leaves it in play. All that time thinking, and Wang Chun-Ting up 6-0. This is good play from Dima. One into the body. It's Wang Chun-Ting to step around, go off balance, and down the line. That's a good first point to get. He earned it. It wasn't a lucky break. But Dima made virtually no mistakes in game one. I don't even remember how he lost the 1 point he lost. But it was after 6-0. So 4 points from 11 can be a long way when you've got Dimitrij OVTCHAROV on the other side of the table coming back. Wang Chun-Ting needs some points, and he needs some points quickly. Oh, man! I'm watching this thinking Wang Chun-Ting is so fast and he keeps the pressure on. Dima's gonna have to play some big shots here. Look at this counter, short stroke, and the next one has to be perfect or Wang Chun-Ting's gonna float it back up on the table. But sure enough, Dima hit the mark, hit the nail right on the head. So the second towel break of the game, Wang Chun-Ting, wow, what was it? 7-1, so maybe 7-0 before that. That backhand serve, though, coming back in. A lot of people ask, where did Dima learn that? His father, Michael. Several serves, the tomahawk, the backhand. This is a bit of a momentum kill, but a big point for Wang Chun-Ting, despite really needing that point. You can see the apology to the top of the net there. A game this fast, that little variation can drastically change where the ball comes. Quite difficult to keep in play sometimes. Oh, beautiful forehand flip kill. Very smooth from Wang Chun-Ting. Wang Chun-Ting is one of the latest developing table tennis players on the professional tour. And he takes the first game point here, 11-5 to tie it up. quite a role reversal. Big switch after an 11-1 loss in game 1. 11-5 here in game 2. I'll tell you more about Wong Chun Ting's development, his personality, and some other stuff when we come back. It's Dima versus WCT. Game 3 coming up after this.
So, meine Damen und Herren, kriegen wir jetzt noch ein bisschen Stimmung hin für Dimitrij nach dem Satzausgleich durch Chun.
Back for game number 3. It's earlier in the match, but I know that I'm not alone in saying that I just can't get enough table tennis. Crowd definitely feeling the same here. Dimitrij OVTCHAROV has a long battle ahead potentially. After game 1, it seemed like it could be the fastest match of the day. Wong Chun Ting started getting serious about table tennis at 18 years old. We hear about that in Europe sometimes, not so much in Asia, not in Hong Kong. In case you haven't heard the story before, Wong Chun Ting was playing a high school tournament. Played a very close match with somebody who was in the national training program, and the coach said, you should be playing with our team. Let's get you serious. And so we started. And then around the mid-20s, early to mid-20s on the world tour with the Spanish Open in 2015, he really started to come through. Then the top 10 happened. Edge of the racket on Wong Chun Ting's side. Good placement from OVTCHAROV with the power at the back of the table. Good length on the service from Dima. Girls in the front row say hi. These guys too, hey, yeah, peace and like on Facebook. There we go. Like the ITTF Facebook page, International Table Tennis Federation. That flip again, it's back. The energy in the crowd though, no question. When you see people shaking like that with positivity, great times here in the arena. It's not even the final day, it's only gonna be better tomorrow, but right now, quite strong. We've got some of the best matches you could ask for lined up. This is one of them. Wow. This ball's below net height, probably right about even with the table when Wong Chun Ting plays that spinny low backhand. Let's look at it again here. Somewhere between the net and the table height, but really a confident rip from Wong Chun Ting. That's the type of confidence all pen holders need with their backhand. In today's day and age, that backhand side of the racket, any backhand is so important. As Dima can show you with his. When Dima's on and he's consistent, he's one of the best backhands in the world. You saw one of the others earlier today, Fan Zhendong, not that long ago. I think a backhand is a very valuable investment for everybody. In terms of footwork, Xu Xin has got some of the fastest feet in the world, and yet without a backhand, he's been hopeless against a few players from the Chinese national team. So having that backhand affords you better positioning on the table, not having to leave open the wide forehand. That being said, Xu Xin did develop some backhand. Came back to beat Ma Long twice in 2016 on the World Tour. Now, every once in a while, I'll notice a pattern in terms of which side of the table seems to be the winning side. Dima's on it now. The angle again. That later shot where he moves forward with the wrist but leaves the hand bent back, leaves the wrist bent back and snaps at the last moment. Creates this bending side spin shot down the line. Wang Chun-Ting was already moving that way. Think about how difficult it is to hit it past him there. Quick reaction time, steady block from Wang Chun-Ting. Big stroke from Dima, a little bit longer to recover from. So second towel break of the game. Still a 4-point lead for Dima. There's so many graceful parts about table tennis, watching it in slow motion. But the service of these players, just like poetry. Some players more than others. Dimitrij OVTCHAROV, definitely some signature serves. Some iconic serves even. Wow, Dima. Wow. Wang Chun-Ting getting a few big shots back in here. Pumped up from the home crowd, determined. 6 game points. Okay, surprise backhand receive. Wang Chun-Ting saves one. Still a long way to go, but Wang Chun-Ting, you know, it's tough to tell. He's such a pleasant guy. We rarely see him fired up. And after the soft touch, the follow-up attack at the back edge of the table. No connection is made. Dima, 11-5, takes a 2-1 lead. Back to Roskov's corner. We'll be back in a bit for the following game. It'll be game 4, WCT and Dima, right after this. Back for game number 4, Dima leading now 2-1 with the serve on the side of the table. That's been trouble for both players so far. Not a game has been won from this side of the table. Dima looking to break that tradition. Wow. Again, so many shots coming back on the table. The reaction time. The racket can be like a shield. Just keep it up. 2 in a row. As strong as Wang Chun-Ting's opening shot is, Dimitrij OVTCHAROV anticipates he's going to play the safe shot to the length of the table. This is not easy. I mean, the human body to move that fast. Look at that. Even Liu Guodong was clapping. He said, wow, bravo, great shot. Last ball with a lot of side and top on it, but the wrong side of the table first. Difficult ball to cover the middle. Speaking of the middle, now this is one difference again. When you look at your opponent, 1, their skill sets, but 2, their physicality. A player as tall as Dimitrij OVTCHAROV, as I mentioned earlier today, is going to have a bigger middle. Just if you were to measure the space where he has to guess forehand or backhand, for those of you a little unclear on what the middle is, that indecision crossover point. Big players, that's where you want to hit it. Good combination here. Dima going fearlessly for the off-the-bounce backhand. Dima quite strong on the wide wings. I feel like over the last year or so, he's really developed his wide backhand as well. On the move. This one a little bit rushed. Doesn't come down. Well-placed serve, and Dima quite fired up about it. barely coming off the back edge. But Wong Chun Ting very keen to steal that opening attack. Looking forward at every opportunity. With the dip of that ball, you can see why hitting it cross court so much easier. That extra room, that extra length on the table. Find the guy with the fancy shirt. Congratulations. By the way, I'm applauding that. Only positivity for that fashion. Just thinking about the difference in personality at the table, the intensity, Dima's focus. It's not to say that Wong Chun Ting isn't a fighter. Hans, China, all right. But what would a yellow hat be without a great pin collection on it? Ooh, let's service, says Dima. Chole, says Wong Chun Ting. This wouldn't be the first time that there's been a disagreement on a let service or not. Ooh. All right, we didn't see let in the replay. Umpires nor Wong Chun Ting did either, so that's how it goes. A little bit off the top of the net, and Wong Chun Ting leading now 6-4. I think it was 2015 where Timo Boll exited the tournament a bit early. In Germany, maybe to Samsonov. But of course, Dimitrij, OVTCHAROV, and Timo Boll, the two players holding up Germany right now. And while we might look at it from home and say, well, Dima, you're on the tough side of the table. No worries, if you lose this game, you'll win the next one. Of course, that's not the ideal way to play. Every game matters, and if Dima can step this up to 3-1. Wong Chun Ting! That leap had to be about 7 feet from left foot to right foot, and he still loops it back. Double thumbs up from Siskel and Ebert in the corner, played by Lu Guodong. Watch this one more time. Dima makes so many shots here, and he's creating the angles. Just amazing. It hurts the home crowd, but it's so impressive. All right, one in the bucket for Dima. Still a ways to go. Looking for the crack on the ball. Dima's the quickest to find that crack. Very attuned to the details in table tennis. Oh, if that comes down, amazing points. Dima with some big shots. Wong Chun Ting gets them back. I just hope it keeps escalating like this. Some of these are tough to even imagine. Like if this were just a video game, this couldn't happen. Kenta Matsudaira tried one like that earlier. Gosh, they're getting so good. And then one catches the edge of the racket. Timeout, says Lu Guodong. Come to the corner, talk with me. We got to take care of this. This is the one. This is the pivot point. The pivot point. Wow. Food here in Germany is delicious, by the way. If Dima takes this game, 3-1 lead, and Wong Chun Ting, you know, you can't focus on the past, you can't change it. You can learn from it, but as Dima gets his new shirt on, Wong Chun Ting is at risk of losing a game that he was leading, what, 8-3? I definitely remember 8-4. It seemed like it was his game. We've seen Dima come back quite a bit so far this year, especially recently. This, for me, is a big sign of mental toughness, maturity, and development as a player. 29 years old. 2012 Olympic bronze medalist, a man with so many titles. I mean, he should be a strong contender for ITTF Male Star Athlete of the Year, the Star Awards. I mean, if he were to take a Platinum Tour event, World Tour Platinum event, I should say, that would be amazing. A lot of players fighting for different reasons, collecting points for the World Tour Grand Finals, for world rankings. Dima has a lot riding on this tournament. A lot of potential anyway, to come out of it with a bag full of goodies. Oh, makes the big one. It looks like a no-look shot from here. Ah, frustrated. Roccadino trying to get the slow clap going. All right. I like it. Fans from all over the world say, if Roccadino says so, yes, sir. Or ma'am. Still unclear. Nothing personal, Roccadino. Oh, 3 game points for Wong Chun Ting to go back to the way things were about 2 minutes ago when he was leading heavily in this game. And Wong Chun Ting a bit fired up here. Trolleys his way out of game number 4 with the game 11-7. So the side of the table, Dima's turn next if everything holds up the way it's been so far, but it's tied at 2-2 for now. See if you can predict the future and find out if it's true or not. A new shirt for Dima and a new chance for you to predict. Game 5 coming up right after this. Game number 5, and it's tied up. Dimitrij and Wong Chun Ting creating a thrilling show out here. Now, just in case you were curious, Dima, in the opening round of the main draw, played Bence Majoros from Hungary, a name that I'm sure I will learn how to pronounce better in the near future, but who's made his way into the spotlight and has been having an incredible year in table tennis, taking down some big names along the way. Not an easy match for Dima, but he did pull it off 4-1. So he made it look relatively smooth, actually, and some of the scores suggest that it was. He had 2 deuce games, one 15-13, one 12-10. So remember, if you're keeping track, this is the game that Dima is supposed to win on that side of the table. Ooh, strong, but it comes back fast and awkward. Slower than the one that came in for sure, but it comes back quickly. And when you have a stroke that big, watch this forehand stroke from Wong Chun Ting. He's back, but it's not comfortable. Not enough time to prepare for the next shot. Not that quality twice anyway. The receive. That was somewhere, I guess it was a flip. And what you call that, it's so rare to see someone with the racket head down like that, just sort of flick the wrist like a flick or a flip. Cross court, but it was from the very back edge of the table. I'd love to analyze that in slow motion later, maybe in the highlights between games. Back edge of the table, but a solid receive nonetheless from Dima. Goes bold, and the luck favors him. Now, after beating Majoros, after that, he beat Yan'an. Just earlier today, Wong Chun Ting on his side beat Masataka Morizono, the opening round of the main draw, and following that, Thiago Apollonia. Cool when you can see the World Tour logo on the ball when they've taken that much spin off, and the Aufgeht's-Dima cheers are going. So let's go, Dima. It's always nice watching the World Tour to collect some language from around the world. So add Aufgeht's to your list of words you can cheer when you become a giant fan of either Dima, Timo, or anybody else. Who knows? Changes it up down the line, quick to smother the ball and take advantage of Wong Chun Ting hanging out on the wrong corner. Sounds like something your parents wouldn't recommend depending on which city you're in. This is amazing to me. Wong Chun Ting hits a much slower, extremely spinny ball with that forehand, and Dima doesn't have his timing broken, hangs in there and counters it back. Just like it's a shot he faces all the time, which seems unlikely. Excellent receive, uncomfortable ball to flip. Wong Chun Ting knows that. Little rotation on it, low enough to the net. Full extension, the wingspan of Dima keeps the ball in play. When we hear Dima grunting like that and it's not on a loop, you know he's stretching far. Hadn't even come down yet. So many things to take care of. Coming down, still on balance. 4-point lead for Dima. And that serve earns him the third ball of his choosing. Wow, Wong Chun Ting gets the tough one back, and another break for Dima here. That serve can be so difficult to handle. Wow, that's to the very corner of the table. It almost caught 3 axes, X, Y, and Z on the very corner of the table. Well played, Dima, behind Wong Chun Ting. And as fast as the feet are of Wong Chun Ting, it's going to be tough when you go out that far. 7 game points for Dima to fulfill the prophecy so far. Long, bold serve. Wong Chun Ting saves one, long way to go. 10-4, a very memorable score for players who will be playing the next match. Lin Gaoyuan, and of course, Timo Boll. That far from the table, as fast as Wong Chun Ting is, Dima's too strong and too good at the angles. He takes it 11-4 with dominance, but not as dominant as game 1, where he won 11-1. Either way, a 3-2 lead. Dima 1 game away from moving on to the semifinals of the men's singles here at the German Open. Wong Chun Ting has to take game 6. It's what's been happening so far. Stay right here to find out if it will. Game 6 after this. Back for game number 6. Dima moving around, keeping the blood flowing, just trying not to cramp up out here. It's easy to do when you put so much pressure on the body and use so much muscle, but this is where that physical fitness, that conditioning comes in. Wong Chun Ting knows from being far from the table last game that he simply can't afford to be behind the table that much. We'll see. Wong Chun Ting's game or not, game 6. Right into the middle. This is a strong start for Dima. Not an easy ball. That takes some serious focus, a little bit of bravery. Okay, from this angle, looks a little bit more reasonable. Wow, Dima. One more step, maybe. Just a little shuffle. This ball comes off the table. It's an uncomfortable spot, though. You can tell the discomfort there. Risky ball. Dima can make that shot. If he makes contact, that ball probably goes in, but still, Wong Chun Ting's waiting. Missed contact, the top edge of the racket. A very interesting conversation as Dima checks for cracks about why it is that so many balls hit the top edge of the racket and still go into play. That is an interesting question, and I have a theory about it. How many times have we seen this recipe? It's the same bait on the hook. Wong Chun Ting doesn't have a lot of options. Supportive Jenny OVTCHAROV in the crowd feels the intensity and shares these moments with Dima. Dima's very focused before matches, and Jenny watches. Don't sit next to her during Dima's match. It's not worth it. I mean, it is if you like silence and not talking to people. But I guess when you marry somebody, have a child, you make that sort of a team and you're out there with them, right, Rockadino? Yep. Get up and clap if you agree. Thank you. Rockadino must have an earpiece in. Although, despite having no ears. Are those ears on the top of the head? I don't know. See the scales going down the back. Then we got the Bears in the crowd. I wonder if I'm the Best Cat is still here. Dima leading 4-2 at the first towel break. Looking down to see where timeouts have been used, and if they have, sometimes it's tough to remember after a long day of exciting matches. Lu Guodong called one to make sure that Wong Chun Ting won game 4. That's the only timeout we've seen that I can recall from this match. Top edge of the racket again for Wong Chun Ting. Change of pace, change of spin, just some variation in the shots. Can really screw up a player's timing, force them to just focus that extra bit harder to make proper contact. Beautiful serve, and Wong Chun Ting recovers it, stays in the points. Dima working all the way through. Look at the smiles of these fans. These are fans that appreciate the work that Dima's putting in. You're here in Germany, you want to see Germany move on. You want to see your player advance. He's working hard to deliver. And the work is paying off, up 8-2. We've got our team massage therapist there clapping for Dima. Quite close with many of the players, as you can imagine. Wong Chun Ting deep in thought here. Big point for Dima to hang on to it. I felt like there was a bit of mental play going on there. Wong Chun Ting takes a little extra moment to think about his serve, reasonable enough. Dima says, well, if you're gonna do that, I'm gonna wipe my hand. If you're gonna get ready to serve while I'm coming back, I'm gonna take a moment. As much power as Wong Chun Ting had on that last shot, the pressure to keep it out of reach for the wide wingspan of Dima was just too much in that point. Dima, in incredible form, has 8 match points. good shot here. Long way to go still, but 1 match point saved. Wong Chun Ting right down the middle of the table on the counter from a very spinny shot. 7 match points left for Dima. And that's all he needs. Dima moves on to the semifinals. One German will be playing tomorrow in the semifinal match for the last platinum event of the year. And a good high five, a hug, pat on the chest, whatever it is, there's great respect, even respect for culture. Dima quickly realizes that handshaking is not an option on the other side and says yes, of course, and moves on. The fans will have a chance after the handshake. He shows his gratitude to the fans, but there have been autographs all around, pictures, and Jorg Roskopf, Big Five, and Timo right there for the 5 with the bandana on, ready to go, and Jenny right behind the lady there, the fan in the crowd, quite happy to be celebrating with Dima, but it's not over yet. All right. Andro towels in the background, fans lining up for their autographs. Dimitrij OVTCHAROV moves on, and there are the scores on screen. Wong Chun Ting gave a great fight, but it wasn't enough. Not for the way world number 3 is playing right now. So fans in China and fans around the world, get ready. Lin Gaoyuan wants revenge. It's Timo Boll versus Lin Gaoyuan coming up right after this.